Thanks, Renee. I'm slowly getting over it, but they were definitely the better team. So better not luck next year. We'll be back. Nice for you to join me. All right, well, I'm going to get started because I am a person that likes to be on time. So welcome to tonight's Tuesday night Facebook Live. And I am the Wexford Stamper, Barbara Reed, and thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to continue in our mini-series with Valentine treat boxes. So if you join me for the first one, which is last Tuesday, we went ahead and we made this little treat box that holds 3 little Ghirardelli squares. And then if you were watching on my blog and on my YouTube channel on Friday, I uploaded the blog post and the video on how to make these cute little Rice Krispie treat holders. So really fun to make. And now tonight, we're gonna be making this little mini gable box. Hi Mary, thanks for joining. These are really fun to make, and these are large enough to hold at least 2 little Valentine Hershey bars. I'm sure you could think of a lot of other things to fit in there, but they fit in there very nicely. All right, now, before we get started, I just want to go ahead and review the stamp set that we're going to be using, and the suite, the same one that we've been using for this whole series, but I want to take some time and show you it. If you don't have a catalog for the new mini catalog for January through June, please let me know, message me, and I will get one into your hands. This is the suite we'll be using for the entire mini series. It's called the From My Heart suite, and it has beautiful products in it, all coordinating, of course. And tonight we're going to be using some of the gorgeous designer series paper. And we're also going to be using the heartfelt bundle, just the stamp set tonight. We're not going to be using those cool heart and scalloped heart stamps. I mean punches, but we will get to those. All right, so those are the things that we're going to be using this evening. Please let me know if you need a catalog. And just a reminder for all my customers, it is celebration time. And remember, for every $50 that you spend, you can pick one item out of this celebration catalog. And these are fantastic items. These are stamp sets, these are punches, these are designer series paper stacks, these are embellishment kits, these are card kits. Wonderful things that you can get for free by spending $50 or more in this catalog or the annual catalog. So either of those would be a great place to look. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's bring our gable box back in. Very easy to make, and I will give you an idea on how that goes. Let me get my measurements over here. All right. To start, we're going to use a piece of Flirty Flamingo cardstock, and this cardstock is cut at 6.5 by 5. So this is another great size for a treat box holder because you can make 2 of these out of 1 piece of cardstock. All right, well, let's go ahead and bring up my Simply Scored board. Oops, sorry about that. I just bumped you. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the long side or the 6.5 inch side on the top, and I'm going to score on the long side at 1/2, 1.5, 2.5, 4, 5, and 6. Don't worry about these measurements. They will all be on my blog after this is finished, and I will even upload the video tutorial you're watching now. All right, I'm going to turn it on the short side, and on this side we're going to score at 1 and 4, and that's it. Pretty easy with the scoring. I'm going to put my scoring board away, and let me bring in my little template, and this will help you understand a little bit about what we're going to be cutting off. So we're going to work and cut off the pieces of this piece that we just scored, and we're going to want to make it look like this here. All right, so how do we start that? All right, well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look on the ends that have the little thin rectangles, okay? The little thin rectangles there. And what I'm going to do is on either side you can start. Okay, on the side with the thin rectangle here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut up on that score line here, and then cut to the first horizontal score line, and then just cut across and cut that piece off, just like that. All right, then I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. All right. So we're getting close, starting to look like that. So next thing we're going to do is go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So turn your paper around, and you're going to cut up that score line to the first horizontal score line, and then cut across. All right. Same thing here. Cut up and cut across. Okay, now these are actually the sides that are going to come up and meet together at the top of the box, and that's where the baker's twine is going to thread through. So that's what we have here. Now this next part here is going to form our box, and if you look over here on my template, this middle section is what panel we're going to see on the outside of the box, and then these tabs here are going to fold in behind that panel there to make the nice smooth edge on the side. So let's go ahead and we're going to turn our paper landscape, and we're just going to cut up on these two score lines here. Okay, now remember I said that this here was going to be our side panel, so we don't want to do any wedging there. So what we're going to want to do here is we're going to take a little wedge out of each of these little tabs here, and the same thing here. You don't want to take the wedge out of the middle panel because you're going to be able to see that then. Okay, these two wedges are going to fold behind, so you won't be able to see those. All right, now let's turn it around. One more set of cutting. Same thing again. We're going to cut up to the horizontal score line, remembering that this is going to be the panel on the side of our box, so that we're going to go ahead and cut little wedges out of both of these tabs that are beside the panel on the box. And there we go. All right, just a couple more things we have to do to get that to look correctly, and one of those is bring in your corner rounder, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just round each of the corners here. Just gives it a nice look on the, almost like a handle when you tie the box together. Hope everybody's having a good week, enjoying this kind of warm weather. Looks like we have some snow coming, so that's not so good. All right, now my piece of paper here looks just like my template, so I'm going to take that away here, and now we're going to go ahead and start putting it together. But I've found that before putting it together, it's always better to put the designer series paper on. Okay, so I have 4 pieces of designer series paper here from my Heart suite, And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere those to my box before I put it together, because it's easier to get them down when you have a nice firm surface to push on. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and take the long ones first. If you need the measurements for those, you can go on my blog. They're all available right there. Okay, let's go ahead and put a little bit of Tombow on the back of this piece. Well, that one's almost empty, so let's try another one. Just can't keep a good supply of glue around here. All right, there's one of my side panels, and remembering that this is going to be the top of the box, so we're kind of going to put it upside down on this panel. Okay. All right, then I'm going to take my other long piece, a little bit of Tombow on the back, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that one right here. So when I fold those up, they'll be facing the right way. Okay, last thing we need to do is put these two pieces of designer series paper on what will be the sides of the box. All right, let's put that one over here. And this one over here. Let me know tonight how the broadcast is coming. I've been working on adjusting and trying to get things to be more clear and less fuzzy for you. So there's all the designer series paper I need to put on. So now we are ready to assemble. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow on all my tabs here. Okay, all 4 of the little tabs. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up the side here, and I'm going to go ahead and fold that tab back and behind the side of the panel that has my designer series paper on. Let's do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to fold down that tab, and then I'm going to fold over the side panel, and I'm gluing the folded part of the tab to the edge of the side panel. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. That's what's so nice and easy about these projects. Once you get it pulling together, it's really an easy process. All right, here goes my tab. That's going to go behind the side of my box. And I'm going to hold it for just a minute. Not even a minute. It holds pretty quickly. And then the last one, that's going to go behind the side of my box. Oh, good, Mary. Thank you. All right. And I think we're all together. Excellent. All right. So now all we have left really here, we're going to fold down our sides, and then we're going to fold the opposite way with that last fold line so that we can, oh, and look what I did. Everybody see? I actually put the paper on the top on this side. Oops, let's turn it over here. All right, so this is where we want to see. You want to have the paper down here on the bottom panel, not up here, but this is live TV, so this is what we're going to have to use. All right, so here's my box ready to go. Let's go ahead and get our tag ready. So look here at my finished product, and I made this little tag here. And what I used, I cut out a stitch circle, and I used the stitch shape frame, stitch shape dies. They look like this. There's a set of ovals and circles and squares, and I use these circles, and I love them because it puts a little bit of a stitch around the edge and makes it look really nice and gives it a finished look. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. And now we're going to pull out some stamps from the set that goes with this bundle. And I'm going to grab my Flirty Flamingo. All right, great. That's good to hear. Thanks, Renee. And I'm going to go ahead and use the smaller scallop heart. And I'm going to stamp that. It almost takes up the entire heart, but that's okay. There we go. And then we're going to bring in the real red. These are the kind of the two tones of red that are used most in this bundle. The real red and the Flirty Flamingo. So if you don't have those ink pads, you might want to add those to your purchase as well, because those are used a lot with this set. All right, and then I'm going to take my stamp that says "So lucky to have a friend like you," and that would be a great sentiment to put on a little treat for a friend or a coworker. And I'm going to stamp that right over the heart. There we go. There's our tag. Let me hold that up a little closer so you can get a good look at that. See how pretty and easy that is? All right. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to get our hole puncher and we're going to turn our box over, and I'm going to be punching holes. You're going to have the two edges together, and you're going to go in maybe about a 1/2 inch and try to measure about halfway down the panel. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to try and get it the same on both sides. Okay, so there are my holes. Okay, now we're going to bring in some of the Whisper White baker's twine. I have way too much here. Let me go ahead and cut this off. And we'll get ready to thread that through. But before I do that, I do want to take my punch one more time. And I want to put a hole in my tag. All right, so let's go ahead. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and thread our baker's twine through our holes. The two holes on this side first. Oh dear. Okay, come on. Turn it this way. Yeah, this side look better. Okay, through those holes here. Well, I think I might go one at a time tonight. I stayed up very late for that game last night, as you all probably know. So I'm needing a little bit of extra sleep tonight, I think. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and get it through here. So we went all the way through the one side, and then we're just going to come around and go all the way through the other side back to the front where we can tie it. Okay, so there. Okay, got it. All right, now it doesn't matter if you tie it first or you want to put your candy in first, because you can slide them in on the side pretty easily even when it's closed. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my baker's twine and I'm going to do over under as if I'm going to tie my shoe, and then I'm going to stop. And before I do the next part, I'm going to cut that off a little bit. That was getting a little frayed for me. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my tag on. So after you do the over under, you're going to go ahead and put your tag on and pull it all the way down to your box. Okay, now after you've got that done, now you're ready to tie. Okay, so I'm going to tie the bow, and your goal is to just get it tied, because once you get it tied, you can go back and do fluffing and adjusting. There we go. All right, we got it tied. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to pull it a little bit. Bring this one over the top. I want to center it a little better. There we go. I'm going to make this loop a little smaller so it gives you plenty of time and flexibility that you can go ahead and work on your bows, because I'm never satisfied with my bow the first time I tie it. So there's my bow, and now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut off my ends, and let's get them away. And there we go. There's the box. This is the Gable box that holds the Hershey mini candy bars. So this would be a great idea to make, and you can make multiples of these. I'm probably going to make some for some of the kids that I tutor because they really love these kinds of treats. So tonight was number 3 in our mini series, and we have a 4 and a 5. Okay, number 4 is going to be a blog post that goes out on Friday, and that is going to be the pop-up treat box. Okay, this is one made out of the same suite, but watch, when you open the box, you have a little message that pops out. Okay, let me show you again so I can turn it up towards the camera so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I'm going to pull the drawer out, and there's a little mechanism in there that'll let the sentiment pop right up. Okay, isn't that cute? And then I filled it with some Dove chocolates. All right, so on Friday, there will be a blog post with a video tutorial on how to make this box. All right, it's not hard. It looks very, very difficult, but all I really use there to make that little mechanism is a little piece of window sheet. And you can't see it, but I just have it attached to the bottom of the box. And it's nice and flexible, and it just pops up like that, and then you can just tuck it. So that's a real fun one to make. So I will put that on my blog on Friday, so watch for that. And then next Tuesday will be our last time, and we will be making these cute little acetate boxes filled with the heart gobstoppers. Okay, these are really fun to make, and Stampin' Up! Sells the acetate card boxes in the catalog, and I actually cut one in half so you can actually make 2 of these with just one of the boxes. So we will be making this next Tuesday night. All right, so thank you for joining me, friends, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me, or you can always message me. If there are any products you would like to buy, you can always go to my online store. And don't forget to watch for the blog post on Friday. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.